Listen to me closely, because the ground is shifting beneath the Philadelphia Eagles right now. We are not just talking about minor roster adjustments. We are looking at a fundamental restructuring of the franchise's identity. From the coaching staff to the trenches, critical decisions are being made this week that will define the 2026 season before it even begins. Sources are buzzing, the rumors are flying, and frankly, some of this news is going to keep you up at night. We have a massive coaching departure, a gamble on speed, and a retirement rumor that could absolutely devastate the offensive line. Stay locked in.
Let's get straight to the business at hand. We have confirmed movement in the coaching staff that signals a significant change in philosophy. Kevin Patullo, the former passing game coordinator for the Eagles, has officially been hired by the Miami Dolphins to take on that same role. This was reported on Wednesday, February 11th. Now, look at the context here. Patullo was released to seek other opportunities following the restructuring of Nick Sirianni's staff. He's heading down to South Beach to work with Mike McDaniel, a move that makes sense on paper, given the offensive overlap. But let's dig deeper into what this actually means for our Philadelphia Eagles. From an insider perspective, this confirms that Nick Sirianni is under immense pressure to reinvent this offense. You don't let your passing game coordinator walk out the door unless you are admitting that the previous system was broken. Patullo was a key voice in Jalen Hurts' ear. He was a stabilizer, and now he is gone. This is a clear indication that the front office is demanding fresh ideas, and they are not afraid to purge the room to get them. But here is where I have a problem. Here is where I get concerned. We are talking about continuity. How many voices does Jalen Hurts need to hear in his career? We are creating a revolving door of offensive minds, and we expect the quarterback to just function like a robot? It is ridiculous. You send Patullo to Miami, fine, but who replaces that chemistry? You can't just plug and play coaching relationships. The Eagles are stripping down the offensive brain trust, and while change is necessary, change is also dangerous. Sirianni is betting his job on this restructuring. He is betting that new blood is better than experienced continuity. It is a massive gamble. The Dolphins are getting a guy who knows our system inside and out, and we are left with a vacancy sign and a quarterback wondering who is going to be guiding him next season. This is a critical tactical error if they don't have a superstar replacement lined up immediately. The clock is ticking, and the patience in Philadelphia is thinner than a sheet of paper. This move puts everyone on notice. Nobody is safe, and results are the only currency that matters.
If you want to stay ahead of every rumor, every signing, and every insider update regarding the Eagles, you need to subscribe right now. Do not let the season start without being the smartest fan in the room. Hit that button.
While the coaching staff is playing musical chairs, Howie Roseman is doing what Howie Roseman does best, working the margins and taking calculated risks on talent. The team announced yesterday, February 10th, that they have signed reserve/future contracts with 8 players. Now, usually this is housekeeping. Usually this is just filling out the 90-man roster for camp. But there are 2 names on this list that you need to circle in red ink: wide receiver Danny Gray and defensive back Tariq Castro-Fields. These moves are strictly about securing depth for the 2026 preparation, but let's look at the strategy. Danny Gray is the headline here. This kid was a 3rd-round pick by the San Francisco 49ers just a few years ago. You want to know why? Speed. Pure, unadulterated speed. He ran a 4.33 at the combine. The Eagles have been desperate for someone who can take the top off a defense and create space for A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. Gray hasn't put it all together in the NFL yet, but the talent is undeniable. Roseman is dumpster diving for gold, and I respect the hustle. He sees a distressed asset with elite traits, and he brings him into the building for pennies on the dollar. But let me say this loud and clear. We are tired of potential. We are tired of projects. I look at this signing and I see a lottery ticket. I love the speed. I love the aggression in going after a former high draft pick, but this cannot be the solution. This is a band-aid. We need legitimate threats. Tariq Castro-Fields adds depth to the secondary, which we always need, but these signings tell me that the Eagles are worried about their speed on both sides of the ball. They know they looked slow at times last year. They know they couldn't separate, so they are bringing in track stars to see if they can play football. It is a low-risk move, but it signals a high-priority need. Howie is acknowledging that this roster got stagnant. He is trying to inject velocity into this team. Will Danny Gray be a star? Probably not. But if he catches one deep ball in September, this move is a genius stroke. However, do not let this distract you from the fact that we need proven commodities, not just training camp bodies. The standard is the Super Bowl, not the practice squad.
Now stop what you are doing. This is the story that matters. This is the news that dictates whether the Philadelphia Eagles are contenders or pretenders in 2026. Adam Schefter, reporting on 97.5 The Fanatic today, February 11th, has dropped a bombshell regarding the offensive line. First, the good news, and it is fantastic news. Lane Johnson is expected to return for the 2026 season. Despite the injuries, despite the wear and tear, the best right tackle in the game is not hanging up the cleats yet. He is the anchor. When Lane Johnson plays, the Eagles win, period. His return stabilizes the entire right side of the line. But hold your applause, because the other side of this report is absolutely terrifying. Schefter is reporting that the retirement of guard Landon Dickerson is a very real possibility. Let that sink in. We are talking about Landon Dickerson, the heart and soul of the interior, the man who makes the tush-push unstoppable. He has been battling injuries, and at his age, the toll is heavy. If Landon Dickerson walks away, you are looking at a catastrophe in the trenches. You cannot replace that physicality. You cannot replace that nastiness. I don't care who you draft. I don't care who you sign. Landon Dickerson is a culture setter. If he retires, the identity of this football team changes overnight. We rely on bullying opponents. We rely on moving mountains in the run game. Lane Johnson coming back is a blessing, but if he looks to his left and doesn't see Dickerson, we have a massive problem. This creates a domino effect. If Dickerson leaves, Cam Jurgens is isolated. The protection for Jalen Hurts is compromised. The entire offensive scheme has to be adjusted. This is the nightmare scenario. We are celebrating Lane while simultaneously preparing a eulogy for the interior line. It is a bittersweet day in Philadelphia. The front office needs to be on the phone right now, begging, pleading, doing whatever it takes to keep Dickerson in the building for one more run, because if we lose him, the toughness of this team takes a hit that I don't think we can recover from in one offseason. This is urgent. This is critical. This is the season on the line right now.
We are at a crossroads, Philadelphia. We have a coaching staff in flux, roster hopefuls trying to prove their worth, and an offensive line that is hanging in the balance between greatness and collapse. The return of Lane Johnson gives us hope, but the potential loss of Landon Dickerson brings the fear. I need to know where you stand. Can the Eagles' offense survive if Dickerson retires, even with Lane back? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We are in this together. Fly, Eagles, fly.